Now, there are a number of celebrations going on, and one of the milestones this year is the centenary of the Rhododendron Society. Now, this was founded by 4 enthusiasts in 1916, because at the end of the 19th century, different rhododendrons were pouring into the country from the China and the Himalayas, and as they grew in our gardens, these plants were increasingly becoming popular as part of our garden vernacular. So, the first AGM was held here at the Royal Hospital exactly 100 years ago. We joined Charles Williams, a direct descendant of one of those 4, to find out more.
My name's Charles Williams from Caerhays Castle in the depths of Cornwall. I grew up in horticulture, was trained by the head gardener here as a child, and it's always been in my blood and in the family genes. Look at that. You tell me a rhododendron which is this yellow with this big a flower, there isn't one. Yeah. You know, this is as good as it gets. Every year, people ask me the same question as to what is my favourite plant in the garden. Today, it's Rhododendron maccabianum, absolutely in its pomp and in its prime. By the middle of next week, it'll be something else. That is the excitement, that's what we go gardening for, and that's really the beauty and the surprises that can emerge from a garden like this. Cornwall's got 3 great advantages climatically. Firstly, we have acid soil, which is what rhododendrons absolutely must have. Secondly, our rainfall is about 55 inches in average, which is much higher than the majority of the country, and exactly the conditions which rhododendrons like. And thirdly, and most importantly, we seldom get much frost. Therefore, plants grow for longer because they don't get held back by cold winters. My great-grandfather, J.C. Williams, was the first member of the family to have a passion for rhododendrons. And he was at the forefront of commissioning George Forrest to go on expeditions to China to bring back new varieties of rhododendron. George Forrest was very keen to be sent to China to earn his fame and fortune, and he certainly achieved that by the time he died in China in 1932. I think people imagine that travelling to China was something of a rather jolly holiday, but actually Forrest had to escape wars between feudal warlords by dressing in native dress and hiding out in the woods to escape detection. Can you imagine the excitement? Here is a packet of seeds. We have a letter from George Forrest which says, this is something fantastic in the wild. It grows up to 30 or 40 feet, and you've just got to see it in flower because it's amazing. So what did you do? You wanted to form a society, a club of like-minded people to compare notes. The Rhododendron Society was formed in 1916 by 4 founding members. My great-uncle, P.D. Williams, J.C. Williams, my great-grandfather, Charles Eley, and John Millais. They were there to write about them, to promote them, to cross them, and to give people cuttings and to establish a wider base. The society today is a mixture of professionals in horticulture and rank amateurs, but that is ultimately what a passion for a particular genus of flowers is all about. It's about enjoying them with people who also enjoy them, swapping them, growing them, hybridizing them, and telling your friends about them. The theme of our stand at Chelsea this year is very much in keeping with the centenary of the group. Therefore, our stand is predominantly going to contain rhododendrons, hopefully some of those which have survived for 100 years and are still with us today, having been found in China all that time ago. This is Rhododendron grande, which is the largest leafed rhododendron of all. What we've done is we've dug around a large root ball and we're going to very gently lift it onto a wire netting platform. After we've got the wire netting securely in place, we'll put hessian around it to keep the moisture in. Whether it'll flower or not remains to be seen, but next time you see this plant again, we'll all hopefully be at Chelsea.
Well, I'm here with 3 committee members of the RHS Rhododendron, Camellia and Magnolia Group, which is their technical name. Charles Williams, Rupert, Eley and David Millais. So how does it feel, Charles, to be here 100 years on at Chelsea with you are all direct descendants of the families? How does it feel?
What could be more extraordinary than to have 3 people still in business, still loving rhododendrons, still selling them for a living, 100 years on?
And still friends?
We've been great friends.
Much, yes.
Well, you've all got your tweeds on, you know, you're looking very smart. I have to say, is this traditional dress?
It was then.
Now, Rupert, how big is the society these days? I mean, is it global still? How many members do you have?
Yes, no, well, the membership is actually, we've had a sort of flurry of new members over the last month or so. We're about 750 members. I've been the membership secretary for about 10 years and love every moment of being involved with it. And it is amazing, as Charles said, that, rarely the 3 of us could still be involved 100 years down the line by pure chance, really.
Rhododendrons are incredibly popular. There's a lot of them at Chelsea this year, I've seen. And you've been picking, well, people have been choosing, members of the committee, I presume, have been choosing your favourite rhododendron, which I bet is not an easy task.
Well, it's actually, we opened the membership survey up to the whole membership, and we had more than 250 responses. And
the winner
was, or is, Rhododendron Kochira, collected in Yakushima Mountain in Japan.
This is where it comes from?
This is where it came from, and this was a plant found in 1931, so soon after the group was founded in 1915.
Well, it's absolutely fascinating. Thank you for bringing it to Chelsea. We need a photo to mark this historic occasion. Huddle together, chaps. Well, that's definitely one for the album. Well done, chaps. Lovely to meet you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
We saw the Rhododendron grande bundled up, very carefully I have to say, to bring here to Chelsea from Caerhays Castle in Cornwall, and here it is. And it hasn't flowered yet, but it has developed this lovely new foliage, this delicate almost, despite the leaves being large, felted grey colour. And I often feel that although of course the flowers are the star turn, the foliage of rhododendrons is often fascinating and in its own way just as beautiful. Now, one of the problems with rhodies, as I always called them, because when I went to school there were rhodies everywhere, is that you can't grow them on alkaline soil. They really do need ericaceous conditions to grow in. Until the Germans, who've been working on this for a long time, developed a rhododendron that would cope with at least neutral conditions. They tend to have incarho in their name. And here's one which is Furnival's daughter. You could grow this with a pH of 6.5, even 7. And it's got a really strong root. And the secret is feed it. Feed it really well. And if you're growing rhododendrons in a pot, give them an ericaceous soil, peat-free if you can, bracken compost, pine bark, keep them moist but not saturated, and they should flower and flower for years.